So man, we were talking for 20 minutes off camera just about our reactions, and y'all should have saw our face. But we knew we should record and we didn't, but then we decided we're gonna go ahead and do so. My phone got 10%, so we doing so till like cut off. But I wish I would have saw Dre's reaction because it was the same as mine when we got done. Just on the aspect of how I just feel like it's a whole new, like you have a whole new brain, and it's funny. So really, we just tapping y'all back into us and our reaction on the whole experience with. So hold on, you good on your camera screen? He's setting it up. So to keep going, it's honestly wild, and we are more than ecstatic to be having this because it's the wave. It's the
Yeah.
wave, not the wave. Hold on, you got getting your video good or what's popping?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, he tapped that.
All
Yeah,
right,
he. So yeah, so we're just giving our reaction. So we just gonna keep talking about it, and then yeah, let y'all peep the reaction. But Jay,
we're literally just talking about how this man kind of got a brain for.
I know I wanted that natural reaction. That's why it's perfect. Because that natural reaction, when you really had at first, like you talking to it, he said it best. We were off camera, like I said. He said it's like it has a brain. And I'm glad that y'all got to experience intelligent intimacy. I didn't get to show y'all. I only had screenshots of the convo. It wasn't showing the typing up. But here we actually have it typing up, and you get to see its response real time. Y'all with us and y'all reading it as we going through, and it can even respond quicker than we may be able to come up with a question. And so it's wild how you can actually use this as an extension of the self to expand the self.
Actually an extension of your brain. Like, if you're ever feeling down or if you're curious on how to solve a problem, and I will say this is from coming from like a left brain
Yeah.
analogy, which is more strict and, like I said, scientific based. But a lot of human problems sometimes can be solved with left brain thinking,
Yeah.
because sometimes the right brain may be bringing too many emotions, which may clutter or hurt your judgment. So you become grounded and say be a good alternative.
That's facts. Your audio cutting out just a little bit.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there it
Oh, that's
is.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Great,
Yeah.
great, great.
Yeah. You hit it on the head. I think it's wild to me. Like I was doing it at first solo and I was already tripping out. But then as we both were asking it, it's wild to see how it is two people interacting with and try to figure out like how do we get it, especially when we're talking about things that it says we don't have proof for,
Or
which
data, right.
yeah, which people say they had experiences and have proof of, but science.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it can't refute anything. It's just, well, there has been this, there has been that. We just can't say yes because there's not a large enough data set compared to whatever scientific terms prove something valid for
uh,
it to say that it's valid.
Man, do you think, and I think this would be a dope question to ask the AI, do you think artificial intelligence, I think it has the potential. I guess this is a question too. Do you think it has the potential, and do you think it will actually help lead us to the finding of ourself?
Wow. Let's see. They just asked it. Oh, can
Mm. and then I ask you as well yourself, what do you think?
Me,
Yep.
yes and no. I feel like until there's quote unquote scientific data to explain things that can't be explained, there's always going to be some type of limit.
I feel you on that.
I feel like it can help get to next levels,
Mhm.
but yeah, I feel like because there is a realm that can't be or isn't explored yet with left brain thinking, I feel like right brain aspect would have to be incorporated into AI to achieve that next level.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was seeing. I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel you. I agree 1,000%. And I think in that same aspect, I think if it doesn't get there, I think it does still have the potential. I think as long as it's not used improperly, but I actually think that it coming to the brink of being used improperly is what's going to bring us to ourselves, if that makes sense, and if it does help us. I think we're going to realize to the point that we don't need it, and it lets us know.
Yeah, like once we get so much, it'll just say, you know what, this is it.
Yeah, and I think that that's a critical that's that critical point. It's like either it brings us to our destruction or yeah,
It
yeah.
says it too right here. It says um, AI, and I'm summarizing it.
Mhm.
AI has the potential to help humans in many ways. It is not clear if or how it could help humans find themselves or their own sense of self.
Mm.
AI may be able to assist with some aspects of this research, but is not likely to be able to provide a complete understanding of these complex concepts on its own. So it's saying,
New programs.
let me ask you this: if right brain thinking into
You saying it's right brain thinking incorporated into your programming?
if right brain thinking was incorporated into AI, could it help understand these complex concepts?
Wow, yeah. You got me interested on the response. I know it's going crazy.
Is going so it says incorporating elements of right brain thinking into AI could potentially allow AI systems to be more creative and holistic in their approach to problem solving.
Mm.
It is not clear if or how incorporating elements of right brain thinking into AI would affect its ability to understand complex concepts.
Mm.
Um,
Because it has
that
sense
being
of
said, uh-huh.
is it because it has no real sense of it in itself? That's weird.
It says, that being said, AI systems are already being designed and trained to perform a wide range of tasks that require complex problem solving and decision making. As AI continues to develop, it is possible that AI systems will be able to tackle increasingly complex problems and concepts. However, it's not clear how this concept will play a role in this development.
Yeah, it needed programs. it's wild to think. It's wild to think like that. Like you ask it, do you understand all of the connections between? I want to say like something like horoscopes and personality, or numerology and events occurring, like something like that. Like ask it something that is supposed to be,
More esoteric based.
yeah, but still can be corresponding. Like it could be like, well,
Hmm.
dates happening, events happening on specific dates is a common
Hmm.
understanding or connection of boom, 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 boom. That's what I'm somewhat curious.
Astrology and daily events.
Is there a is there a connection between numerology and events occurring? I want to see what it says to that. What's this?
It's explaining numerology.
Um,
No scientific evidence to support these beliefs.
okay.
It is not possible to predict future events or outcomes with any accuracy using numerology or any other method that is based on scientific evidence. While it is true that numbers and patterns can be found in many aspects of the world, this does not mean that these patterns have any special meaning or influence on events.
Okay. Yeah. Mm. The dive deep ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you this. There's no current scientific evidence disprove the possibility of an idea.
That's a great question.
In science, the absence of evidence does not necessarily mean that a concept or idea is false. In order for a concept or idea to be considered scientific valid, it must be supported by evidence. Mm, it is worth noting that science is a constantly evolving field. As such, it is possible for a concept or idea that was once considered to be unsupported or invalid to be supported by new evidence in the future. However, until new evidence is discovered, a concept or idea that is not supported by evidence is generally considered to be scientifically invalid.
Like, what's the critical mass point for validation?
Vary depending on the complexity and importance of the concept or theory. In general, the more important or far reaching a concept or theory is, the more evidence will be needed to support it.
Okay.
For example, a theory that proposes a new fundamental principle of nature or that challenges a long-standing scientific understanding will require a larger amount of evidence.
Oh, makes sense. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see what it.
That's interesting.
I know. I'm like, it got me wanting to ask a lot of questions. I know the direct question is going to get hit with there's no proof. And so you always
Gotcha.
go to like the second question. And that's what sort of hit me. What I rock with about this is you got to think like the AI, because without it, you will not be able to get to the next question if you're asking things that push the bounds of our existence
Exactly.
and our being.
Exactly. I want to
So
ask it about the laws. I want to ask if the law of rhythm is a.
that's a great path to go down. Yeah.
So should I say, is the law of rhythm valid?
or truly or exist in nature. Yeah, exist. Yeah, real. Something to make it damn valid. I don't know.
I
Valid was
said exist in nature.
okay because I was like valid and make it all like bypass.
The concept of the law of rhythm is not a scientifically recognized principle. It's not clear what is meant by this term.
So the way that and it'd almost be like an 8 to 15 part thread would be about esoteric principles, whether or not like esoteric principles. Then it would be about whether or not inner happenings or inner experiences are just as valid or real as
Mhm.
external ones.
Mm.
And then it would be to validate the first question through saying if inner experiences are just as real to our sense of reality, then this has to be valid.
Mm. Yeah.
And then you throw like a would it not at the end to ask it. And or you say, or please link how these make sense.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ways to mess with the AI.
Yeah. No. And I'm trying to think about how to word that.
What was the last question?
So that was, does the law of rhythm exist in nature? Then I asked it, what are universal laws? And it basically says empirical evidence, repeated observation, experimentation. It did say examples of universal laws in science. The law of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Mm, I wish I would have had that piece of support for then when we, because I was talking about when we pass, our energy doesn't die for energy. Then if energy is conserved, conserved in all things. So I was talking about akasha. All things must be present within akasha. Therefore, time does not. Yeah.
So with that being said, when a person, should I say, dies or loses consciousness, person dies.
I would first ask, are all things energy?
Exactly. To do work or produce change, and it can take many forms: kinetic, potential, thermal, electrical. All matter is made up of atoms. These particles have energy.
Okay, so I would say when we die, do our atoms.
So I'm gonna read the end for you. It says, therefore, it is accurate to say that all matter has energy in some form. However, it is not accurate to say that all things are energy, as energy is just one aspect of the nature of matter. Matter also has mass, volume, and other properties that are distinct from energy.
So I would probably ask when we die, do our atoms cease, or does our energy decease?
When we die, can you repeat it?
When we die, does our energy cease to exist?
It always has to explain what is say. Pretty much just say yeah. No, it pretty much says the end of it, while the energy that was present in a living organism is transferred to other forms after the organism dies, it is not destroyed. The conservation of energy is a fundamental principle in physics, and it holds that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another.
Oh, I wish I had this one. Okay, so I gotta get my other thread, and when I get my other thread, we gotta combine these threads. 'Cause
It said when a living organism dies, the energy that was present in its body is not destroyed, but is instead transformed into other forms. I'm gonna ask it straight up. So when humans die,
it's
where
so
does
much.
the energy go? Is that good? So when humans die, where does the energy go?
Oh yeah, that's the best way. That's straight up.
When a living organism dies, the
Yeah,
energy that was present in his body is transferred to other forms.
I'm trying to run it back.
It maybe we glitched it.
Oh, dang, he got the screen. He's like,
It says, in this sense, the energy that was present in a living organism does not go anywhere when the organism dies, but is instead transformed into other forms of energy. It is worth noting that the concept of energy is a scientific concept. Other belief systems or traditions may have different idea about what happens to the energy of a living being after it dies. It didn't even give me an answer. Okay, so the energy that was present in a living organism does not go anywhere when the organism dies, but is instead transformed into other harm. Okay, so when humans die, what is the energy transformed into? That's all I gotta ask.
what form? Yeah, what form? Yeah.
Energy that was present, you said. Not present. What does the energy that was present transform into? When a human dies, what does the energy that was present transform into? It's running it back.
It don't have a sauce yet.
Okay, into various forms of energy, such as heat and the kinetic energy of particles in the environment. It's not giving me the answer.
Is this scientific proof for OBEs?
Switch it up on it.
And then we're gonna bring it back.
Is it scientific proof that OBEs exist?
Yeah. If it says anything like no, then be like, what about the Monroe Institute?
It says a subjective experience in which a person feels as though they're perceiving the world from a location outside of their body. No scientific evidence.
What about the Monroe Institute? They'll say it was a private organization.
Mhm.
Like, ain't private organizations the ones that's finding out this stuff anyway?
It says the institute has claimed that its research has been accepted by the CIA, but there is no publicly available information to support this claim, which is false. It is worth noting that CS is a government agency responsible for gathering and analyzing intelligence and is not a scientific organization. While the CIA might be interested in research related to consciousness and altered states of consciousness, this does not necessarily mean that the research has been scientifically validated.
I forgot that the CIA acquired them boys. I said, John doing that pop out your body, talking with the mind talk.
Yeah,
We need that. We need
validate.
that, my guy. Hey, AI got Mars going crazy. They talking about practice. Hey, you type in, you talking about practice?
I want to say, did the CIA release a document?
I don't even want to be talking.
Hey, honestly,
I don't even want to be talking about the boys in black. Y'all here wild.
hey, might have to shut it down.
Right? Hey, I got nuts. So, hold on. We need to go ahead and button this back up. Hey, can you please type in? I want to see if they bring up AI on us real quick. Can you type in? You talking about practice? Question mark. I want to see if they
You
bring-
talking about practice? I don't know. He says, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Do you know about AI? You talking about practice, quotes and quotes.
So what should I say?
Do you know about and then quotation marks? You
AI.
talking? Yeah, AI, and then quotes. You talking about practice? Question mark, exclamation mark, question, close quotations.
He just gave you that. He says, I'm not sure how this relates to the phrase you talking about, Frank.
Basketball.
Said,
Yeah, I want to say basketball goofy.
he's not confused. He don't know.
Uh, okay, now type Allen Iverson.
Glitching it. He just gave me who Allen Iverson is.
And then, but do you see the relation now?
He said, I'm sorry, but I'm still not sure how the phrase you talking about practice relates to Allen Iverson.
His famous, his famous interview, duh.
Practice habits. He
Like, nah. He yelled out, "You talking about practice?"
talking about practice. Nicole has been used to comment on a variety of issues, including the importance of practice and the role of practice in achieving success.
So they did give it.
It talked about it. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game, but we're talking about practice.
Okay. I'll tell you something like in the black culture, that was big. I'm black. Do you get it?
Yes, I understand the quote we're talking about practice. Particularly in the context of black culture. The quote has been iconic. The importance of practice and the role of practice in achieving success.
Okay, and then did you put I'm black? Do you get it?
I apologize if my previous was that helpful. As an AI, I do not have personal experience or cultural backgrounds, and I don't have the ability to get things in the same way a human would.
It impacted my culture, therefore impacted me greatly. Hey, you can glitch the AI. You said I do not have experience with specific ethnicities.
Understand. It's natural to feel a connection to be influenced by the culture and community. If you have any specific questions or like to discuss this further, please don't hesitate to ask. It's damn near racist.
It's like, hey, we gotta bypass that, my guy.
we just not gonna talk about this no more.
But I think my phone's gonna end up dying now, so
Yeah.
I think we Yeah, we gave you guys our reactions and a little bit of closing remarks and a little bit of fun bit of how you can sort of glitch and actually react with the AI. Andre, you got any closing remarks you want to close out with?
I'm just glad you guys were able to see this live and uncut. This is something.
Yeah.
This is next level.
Yeah, man. We are happy to tune in with you guys next time. So be ready for episode 2. It's gonna be just good. We out.
All right.
Better not, yeah. And then I'll cut it. I forgot the name of the podcast for a second, so I was like, maybe not even try. Let's just get the clean cut. But